Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Love Needs No Words. We're joined by Leona Smith, who is mum to two children, Emmie and Arthur. Arthur has autism and is non-speaking, and Leona has been sharing his journey through her Instagram page at Leona Jade Smith. Leona, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me on.
So to start, can you just talk us through a little bit about Arthur and his journey?
Yeah, I can. So Arthur was diagnosed. It was 2 days after his second birthday we got a diagnosis. But leading up to that, we knew things were different. So Arthur was born literally 3 weeks before COVID hit. So it was 2020. It was March, 2nd of March, and I had a really traumatic labour, and then you get the 3 weeks where everyone come and see you, and then nothing. You don't see anyone, do you? We was in a bubble for 3 months, and I don't know. Even then, I struggled. I put a lot of it down to postnatal depression, or I just kept saying to Josh throughout when he was a baby, I don't think he's bothered about me. I don't think he knows I'm his mummy. Like he wasn't an unhappy baby, or he's very sicky. He had a lot of reflux. Like we tried every different milk, and I don't know if that's linked at all, or but I just felt that he wasn't. Yeah, he just wasn't. He was chilled, but he wasn't fussed. And then came he wasn't he didn't respond to his name, and he'd play but turn his back to us, and he did a lot of hand flapping, and legs were constantly moving. It wasn't just a one-off, it was constant. And we'd all make little jokes about some of the movements and that. And I remember we went on my dad's drive, and on his Ring doorbell camera he said it looked like Arthur was on fast motion, like with his legs he looked back on the camera, and he did a couple of, he'd smile at some family sometimes, and he'd waved once, and then it just stopped, like nothing. But we've never had any words. He's only recently started answering to his name. And I don't know, I think when I think back of that, I think because he was my first, like you're two, like that, when they're your first as well, it's all new to you anyway, isn't it? And you do take on board what people are saying. I think you're looking things up. And I remember watching I don't know if you've watched Miss Rachel with any of your two. Like the woman.
I've managed to avoid Miss Rachel, and I don't know how.
I mean, she's amazing, but she drives you up the fucking wall. But on her clips, it tells you when the baby should be doing stuff. So they should be doing things like clapping by, I don't know, 9 months or whatever. And I remember looking at it thinking, he's not doing that. And I remember going to baby groups in between when you lockdown opens a bit, and
you go quick, get out.
Oh. Yeah, and I'd book onto all these baby sensory and
same.
do all this stuff. And Arthur he just wasn't the same as the other kids. I can't even explain. There was just a difference. And then the not talking, and I had a group of NCT mums, lovely girls, but every time I met up with them, I just felt like I was the odd one out all the time. And they did nothing wrong, like it wasn't them at all. And I completely pulled myself away, because I just couldn't bear it. I couldn't be around them. And I had other friends of children similar ages, but that was different. It's friends I'd grown up with. And it took, so we did his first birthday, we did a cake smash. I ordered everything you're meant to order a 1-year-old, and he weren't interested in any of it. And the cake smash, I look back at videos now and think, oh my God, I was really cruel. Like he didn't want to touch it. He was weren't interested in anything. And it was my mum that said to me, like they call me Lone, and she said, Lone, do you think maybe Arthur's autistic? And I was like, no, I don't. But I had gone down a bit in the rabbit hole of autism, because my brother's autistic, not to Arthur's level, so I knew a little bit about autism. And obviously you question things and that, and then I started getting lost down the rabbit hole of autism. When you Google everything, and you watch videos online, and you talk to the health visitor, and he scored, I remember the scoring, like really, it was above, like he was really delayed, and we went for a hearing test, because that's the process. I don't know if you had to do the hearing test. But it would make me laugh because he wouldn't respond to his name, but he would go crawling over to Peppa Pig if he heard Peppa Pig.
Oh yeah.
You know it's not their hearing. As their
Yeah.
mum, you know it's not their hearing.
I
And
just
still they
think-
make you go through it.
Yeah, I just think it's a process, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they have to rule it out.
Yeah, and then we went on the list for paediatrician. And I started going down the private route. I thought, right, I need a speech and language therapist anyway. I don't know what I needed. I just needed something. I knew that he was autistic. I had it in my mind now. I was like, he's autistic, you know. And we started the private route. A lot of money, so my family all chipped in. And what we did is we did it in 2 sections. So the speech and language therapists come out and they do, I don't know if it's the same with you, it's called an ADOS assessment. So she did the first half of that, and amazing woman was with us for hours, gave us loads of tips about play and speech and language, and told us little things to get, like to help develop interaction, and did that intensive interaction stuff. So she did her bit. We gave us that side of the assessment, and then I booked the other half, but I didn't have to pay for that yet. And then while we was waiting for that, because it was like a few weeks down the line, I wouldn't leave the paediatrician, the NHS paediatrician, alone. I was on their case, like literally ringing them constantly. And my office, where I worked at the time, the admin for the paediatrician team was upstairs. So I just kept going up there. Hello. There you go. Like, hello.
It's me again.
Yeah, hello.
Any news on that appointment? Anything?
Yeah. So one day I went up there with my lunch and this lady was like, he's not on the list anymore. And I was like,
Oh, for
what?
goodness sake.
Yeah. And then
No.
she was like, I tell you what, I'll get him in for Thursday. And I was like, okay, go on then. Get him in there quick. So she got him in. I went with my mum to the appointment, and in the appointment Arthur went in there and just trashed the place completely. The paediatrician was like, whoa, like, yeah, then started getting the keyboard and the paperwork and started eating the paper, and it was like me and my mum were like, oh. Got him in the buggy with his crisps and that, and he said, he said, I can start the process. And I said, I'll stop you. I've got the first half of the assessment with me. Can you look at it? And he said, okay. So he had a look at it. We went out, went back in. He did the other half of the assessment, and he gave us a diagnosis that day.
Oh, amazing.
But that hit, but he also told me he had global developmental delay. And that come out, and I was a bit like...
So that blindsided you. Yeah.
That blindsided me. I was like,
Yeah.
no, he hasn't. And he was like, just because he's autistic doesn't mean he's delayed. You know, Arthur's quite significantly delayed. And I was like, and then it was like sensory processing disorder, sleep wake disorder, non-verbal. You know, and I was okay in the appointment, and I come out with my mum and I sat in the car and I just sobbed. But I think I sobbed because I knew he was autistic. I just thought, I'm right. I was right.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a bit of a relief.
Validation, isn't it?
But then I was also like, fuck, like, this is going to be hard. Like, this is actually real now. This is real. I know it's real anyway, but that made it.
But you're confronted with it, like, there and then. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have people say to you, oh, he's a boy, and, you know, it's COVID, and, you know, you both probably had the same as well, having babies during COVID, and you get brushed off a bit, and you do think, oh, maybe, and then people go, oh, are you reading to him, and are you talking to him?
Yes.
And,
that's my biggest bugbear.
and I think,
have you tried turning the television off? Yeah, I have actually. I'm really aware that my child's not speaking. I'm doing everything.
Yeah,
it's so unhelpful.
So unhelpful.
So unhelpful. But I also get it in some ways as well, because people don't know what to say, and they want to
try to help.
I think they are trying to help. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember, I went really in a dark place, and then I think you just think, and the same as what you girls said when you spoke about your journey, you go on to, like, I don't know, Mama Bear mode. You are like, do you know what? Like, it's not fixing mode, but you're thinking, what else can I do other than lose myself in the autism world now? And
I think I went into fix it mode, if I'm honest, at first. I think I did.
Yeah. And there's
I don't think I knew what else to do, to be honest.
No.
And I knew I probably knew I couldn't fix him, but I think I just felt like I needed to do something.
Yeah.
And I 100% get that. And I feel like I have, even now, I'm completely down. I'm in the autism world, and it's funny because with my Emmy, I'm a bit like, I don't know how to be in that world now.
Totally
like
understand
the neurotypical world with raising her, because I'm all consumed with him and autism. And so that was sort of our journey 2 days after his second birthday. And then I found out I was pregnant with Emmy.
Oh, wow.
Literally
That's a lot of emotions.
Like the same week it was. Like it was like you've got an autistic child and you're pregnant.
Ta-da!
And I'm thinking, oh my God, like, but we knew that was going to happen. Like we, obviously we spoke about it. Emmy was planned, we spoke about her, and we knew Arthur was different anyway. So but it's been a journey, and I think the first then it's all hard, isn't it? I think I've only just started coming out of it. That's like, that lonely grieving. You are grieving. That's really hard to explain to people that aren't living it.
Yeah. And actually that's nearly 3 years that's
so it'd be 4 years. So he's 6 in March.
Okay.
So 4 years ago he had his diagnosis in March.
It goes to show the time that it takes to process this and to go through it, and sort of, I don't think you do come out the other side, but to find yourself in a place where you just feel a little bit more level with it all.
I just think it's just to process it. Like you have to come, it's all a process, isn't it? And obviously there's moments that hit you harder than others, but it's taken me this long, I think, just to find my feet. And it's a journey, isn't it? And it's we're all individual in that as well. We've all got different ways we cope with different things and that. But it's hard, and I love hearing other people's stories and how, because it's all a bit different, isn't it? And what maybe I did with the paediatrician and that is different to someone else. And
and actually that's fine. Can I ask a quick question? When going back to what you were saying, that you went with your mum to the appointment, and you mentioned that your brother is autistic, so presumably your mum's gone through a bit of a journey of her own when your brother was diagnosed. Was it really helpful to have her with you?
Oh my God. And even now, like, my mum is the best. Like, even when he was really little, I mean, he's always vocal stimmed after, and you hear it on my videos and that. And I remember, like, when he was little, I'd be like, oh God, people are looking. Like, but obviously you can't make him be quiet, but I'd be like, I could feel myself getting. But my mum copies him and goes, go on, my baby, louder, like.
Oh, I love that.
She's just nothing phases her. She's incredible, and she's so loud as well. But she's like, do you know what? If people are gonna fucking look, I'll give them something to look at.
We're all in this together, Arthur.
She's like,
what's your mum's name, Leona?
Her name's Lorraine.
Let's all be more like Lorraine.
Let's all be more like Lorraine. It's funny because Charlotte, she calls her the Nicole Kidman of the STEM world, because she's such a little hottie. Like,
Whoa. She needs to set up her own page.
She does. I keep telling her that, but she's useless. She'll write a post on Facebook that's meant to be a message, but she'll put it as a post. She's not very good at things like that. But so she went through all of that in 1995, when there was no social media, no nothing. And so she's been incredible with helping me, and she got the brunt of my, like that standoff. If anyone could tell you, I think it's your mum.
My mum told me, so and it's like shoot the messenger, isn't it? Because straight away I was like, no, like say that to my, and then when you start thinking, I think, because she didn't go on and on about it, she just said it and let me process it a bit, and then I went back to her and was like, I think you're right. Right. Then I'm like asking my brother loads of stuff, and asking asking all this stuff, because I knew stuff about my brother, but I didn't know the ins and outs when he was like a baby. So I got lost down that hole for a little bit, but they're so different. They're completely different. My brother was diagnosed with Asperger's then, which isn't the case anymore. But whole different journey. And what's the current situation with Arthur now? So is he at school, and what does sort of a typical day look like for him?
Yeah, so Arthur's in year 1. He goes to Ascend School. He's just started doing school transport, actually, because I was taking him and Emmy goes to play school and she would be late because I'd have to drop him off first. It was both 9 o'clock start, and the mornings were horrendous.
Oh, God.
And I know they're hard work anyway, but she would trigger him off with a screaming and just constant singing, and she'd just scream just for the crack, and then he'd start crying and scratching his face.
They know how to wind each other up. They really do.
They do.
They really do.
Yeah, and I'd be singing like The Wheels on the Bus, just to try and it was just
to regulate yourself.
Yeah. And it was just, and then I'd have to leave her in the car, or I'd run him in quickly, and because I couldn't work both of them out to get him, because she would drop to the floor and he would drop to, it turned out it was so stressful. So I signed him up to transport, broke my heart putting him on the bus. He went on fine. But I thought, right, he'll go in the morning, I'll pick him up in the afternoon. And I turned up at the school to pick him up, and Arthur doesn't have many meltdowns. When he does, they are big, and they're usually when he's poorly. But they were like, Arthur's mum, he's by the fence. We can't get him to come to you. And I was like, what? I could hear it. And he's scratching his face and crying. And they said, we think he wants to go on the bus. Can we let him? I said, go on then. And he went and found the bus he'd been on that morning, found it, sat on it, and was happy as Larry. And I thought,
he thought, don't worry, I'll just drive home on my own then.
So I did, yeah. I was like, one of the mums was putting her kid in the car, and I went back to the car, and she was like, have you forgot something?
You'd think, but no.
Yeah, I was all emotional and like,
How lovely that he really enjoyed it, though, because then that meant you could just relax knowing that he was very comfortable to sit on the bus.
Yeah. And now he's like dragging me to the door. I show him a picture of the bus, and he's stimming away waiting for it, and Emmy goes on and high fives the kids on the bus.
Oh, that's so nice.
It's so cute, and my mornings are just like, yeah.
Are they dreamy now?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're always dreamy, but
dreamier.
Yeah, they are. No, they are.
Yeah.
I was so petrified of that transport. So if anyone's scared of putting their kids on transport, and if they're happy, they love a car journey. Arthur's always loved a car journey. That's his safe space, being in the car. Then that's been amazing, and he loves his school. So touch wood.
Can't ask for more than that.
No, that's they've been amazing. So he's doing really well. So I'm happy for him. Yeah.
That's such good news.
Yeah.
So Leona, you created your Instagram page at Leona Jade Smith, which follows Arthur's journey, and it is such an honest account and full of really, really helpful information. Why was it important for you to set that up, and has it been helpful to you as well?
Oh my God, massively. Like, that's how, one of the reasons I was able to cope. So I actually started posting stuff on TikTok first. I would do like Dear TikTok every day and just talk about my day. I'd have Emmy. When I look back at the videos, I think, oh God.
But it helped.
It was like therapy, because I was having panic attacks, and it's horrendous in the first couple of years of thinking, what have I done, and all of this stuff. And so I started doing that, and then Josh said to me, why don't you post more on Instagram? Because I had no friends and family on TikTok. I didn't tell anyone I was doing it. I just did it, and no one knew I was on it. And then he said, why don't you move some of the stuff to Instagram and start sharing Arthur a bit with friends and family? And I thought, that they're the people I want to know about him, is my close network. And I did Walk for Autism like a few years back, and I thought, right, I'll start posting from there. I'll put Walk for. I raised a lot of money from amazing people and family that sponsored us, and I started posting about me doing that, and then more and more. I said, during this month I'm going to share more of Arthur, and it just sort of went from there, really. And I really enjoy it. Social media has been a massive support for me, huge. I wouldn't know half the stuff I know without other mums and dads sharing their journey. Even like your buggy, your car seat, all them logistics. Oh my God, he doesn't fit in a harness car seat no more. What am I going to do? A buggy or dummies and sensory stuff. I mean, I would buy anything. I'm a TikTok shop girl, love it, love all of that all the toot off of. So I think, yeah, it's massively helped me. And that's why I thought if I can help one other family just by sharing our journey, then yeah, I feel like I've sort of passed it on a bit, really.
Yeah.
Well, we can totally empathise with you with that, because that's exactly why we started the podcast. It was just to just to make somebody else feel a little less lonely. There might be one person out there thinking, oh wow, we've just got a diagnosis, I don't know where to turn.
Yeah. And I remember doing that walk
important.
for autism and wanting to listen to an audio book or a podcast.
Yeah.
That's what
to soak it in like this. I wanted to, and there was nothing. There wasn't anything then. And I remember like searching through things to think, right. And so I started like listening to The Reason I Jump, and you know, like them sort of. I started listening to books, but I wanted something like this. I would have got lost in this doing that, and I do now. Like in the car when I drive back with no children, like I'll put a nice podcast like your girls on. You put something on that you know you can soak in a little bit, and it's
absolutely
it's needed.
And it's so reassuring hearing other people's journey. And like you said, I was Googling mum's podcast about autism. That's why we set this up, because I just wanted to hear mums just chatting away about their children and how they're finding it, because just hearing another person having similar emotions to you just feels safe, because you know
you don't feel so alone. I know you're not with that person, like you can't help them in their day, like clearing up shit and God knows what else you're doing, but it's just relating and thinking, oh God, I'm not the only one dealing with that.
Like, someone else is out there, someone else is having to process this, someone else is living it. And actually lots of the emotions, regardless of what kind of journey you're on, because like Amy and I, our boys are very, very different, but actually even in the last couple of days we've been discussing certain stuff, and actually we've both had the same emotional response to two entirely different situations,
we did,
but we still felt the same. And it's just reassuring to know that there's someone else out there. And it's really important to build a network, and you know, you share on your page about friends you've got, and some of them will be really familiar people that probably lots of people follow too, but it's important to have that network of somebody else who you know you can just speak to honestly about the reality of it, the good, the bad and the ugly, because some of it is a little bit ugly.
And I think the judgment, and I don't think people mean to judge in some ways, or that understanding as well, but I think when you tell another STEM mum a story or something, or you offload something, I just think sometimes you don't need an answer for it, or you just or you do make light. I make light of a lot of things, and you know, and moan and take the piss and laugh and say stuff, because sometimes it's too deep to go into too much, and it's hard, isn't it? But when you talk to other parents, you just get it. Like, it's so important to meet people, and I didn't have that until Arthur started school. Really, I had people on social media that I'd connect with. But actually face-to-face meeting people for a coffee, probably in the last like year and a bit I've had that, and oh my God, it's needed. I didn't realise how much you need to fill your cup up with that, but big time. You do.
And that's why your content's so good, because one of them that really struck me was your signs that Arthur had autism video. You know, even that will be so useful to so many people, and you know, we've got to caveat it with it's not all the same traits for every child, but just having something to watch if you're slightly on the edge of whether or not they might, or you're umming and ahhing about getting that pediatrician appointment, just watching that video, it might just spark something in you to go, look, let's just start the journey. They might not be, but some of these traits are very similar to my child. And another one that really struck me, which I have, is you know, when Arthur's not very well and you sense he's not well, because like you say, he might have a meltdown, or his emotions will change. And Alex is very similar. I just know when he's not himself. And I know that that's one of the hardest things for me, is him not being able to tell me that he's not what's wrong. Do you find the same? Is that one of the hardest things for you?
Oh my God, yeah. The when he's not well, and touch wood, like the kids, like I mean, he eats his immune system must be, because the amount of actual whatever he puts in his mouth is unreal. So he's touch wood, but when he's ill, he is ill, and it's horrible because he doesn't want me to comfort him. He doesn't really want me to. He doesn't want to lay in my arms and cuddle me, and sometimes he wants me near, but other times he's literally pushing me out the room to say. And that's quite heartbreaking as mum, because that's your role, isn't it? Like to be comforted, I need to be needed, and I want to make him feel better and take it away. And I straight away, I go down there, oh my God, he's really ill. We need to go to the hospital. Like, I need to get him a doctor's appointment.
I used to do this.
I get like, and Josh is like, he's just got a cold. He's okay. Like, because I don't know. Like, I don't, and what if I miss something? Like and then we've gone to the doctors numerous times over things. Arthur gets a lot of tummy infections because of his pica. He puts everything, so his pica is he eats non-edible things, and it's not good stuff. So he gets a lot of tummy infections, and he's been on different antibiotics, and sometimes we just got to ride it out, and it's not nice for him and everyone else involved. But the doctor isn't always great, and they'll be like, oh, so what do you want to do, mum? What do you think it is, mum? And I'm a bit like, well, that's why I'm here.
I need help and guidance.
And we've gone to the hospital. We've been sent up the hospital numerous times because he's chewed batteries. He's lots of different, we thought he had a blockage, and it's a bit like, well, I've touched his stomach and he's not in pain, and part of me thinks, would he react to that? Like, would he? And it's really hard they sort of it's on me to work this out. And I spiral a bit. I'm still not great when he's not well. I panic. I go into, there's something really, really wrong with him. He's eating something, he's got a blockage. He's like, I hopefully over time I might ease off, or it might not. But I don't always think that's a bad thing. That's what they're there for.
It's protection. You're protecting him.
I just think if I don't get him checked, or I don't look at what if it was something, I still think that, because he can't tell me. I think that, and that is the hardest thing. He can't say. When Emmie tells me stuff, it blows my mind. Like she's like, oh, mummy, my tummy hurts, and I think, oh, like you can tell me that. Like, whereas Arthur, I don't even know if he wouldn't even touch his tummy. He doesn't point. He doesn't. I only know by what I find in his nappy, or if he's crying, or
their behaviour. Exactly.
His behaviour is so, communication is behaviour. Like that's how we have to read him, and so much deeper, isn't it?
You're all constantly fact finding all of the time. I had a call from the school earlier because they said, oh, he's having a really difficult day, and his teacher's off poorly at the moment. And I thought, okay, that kind of explains it. He gets home and my mum's like, he's got a huge ulcer in his mouth. So I'm like, no wonder he's had a tough day. He's been in pain all day. That must really, really hurt. But he's not told anybody. He's not told me, he's not told the teacher, he's not said out, like nothing. And Max, speaks and such like, but just can't verbalise it whatsoever.
He can't process that's painful. I've got to tell someone that.
So what he'll do is he'll push his peers, or he'll, just his tolerance is a lot lower. But that it's the communication is their behaviour. I know you speak about this quite a bit on your page. It's important. I think it's really important because people, even outside of the world that we are living in, they don't see that behavior and link it to the communication. They just see the behavior, and it's really tough. It's really tough as the mum, and like you were saying about Arthur's stimming and stuff, and actually your mum's great, and she's like bigging it up, but other people will just think, why? And if they just knew. So it's so important to share that.
It is, and I think it's really hard, isn't it? Because with behaviour comes some of the hitting and kicking and that side of it. And I think as mum, I find that really hard. I have to take a step back and think, if I'm feeling stressed and angry and overwhelmed with this, how must he be feeling about this? Because he can't. So I have to like tell myself, like me and Josh have to sort of go, like you have to step away and be like, he's not doing this to hurt me. He's doing this to say, I'm in pain, mum. Like, And then that's like, oh, it's a lot. When they're not well, it's a whole different. I switch off a bit, and he's all I can sort of until he gets a bit better, and then I think, oh, that was all right, that wasn't as dramatic as I've made it.
But it's quite all consuming, actually. Managing your own emotions through that time is really difficult as well, because it does take a lot. Like, like Max will do some stuff sometimes and I know why he's doing it, but I'm still having to grit my teeth because I'm thinking, be patient, be patient, be patient. It's literally like every part of me wants to be like, stop hitting me.
I know. It's you've got to learn and adapt your ways, because we were brought up not to hit and kick.
Absolutely.
Climb on the windowsill and bang the windows and make all like, you wasn't like, it's a whole different, you're learning a whole different sort of way of
parenting.
You are.
I read a really good post the other day, which was really helpful to me, was that like when your child is crying, and that goes like for both of our children, I'm sure many people can relate to this listening, your nervous system just goes out of control. So that's why we feel that internal like stress and everything else, and your natural reaction is to get cross and get angry, because you're completely on edge, and we have to learn as parents to really dumb that down and completely switch out of it to get them calm. So we were talking last week, weren't we, about how I sometimes feel like I've got to regulate for the whole household. As long as I'm calm, everybody else is calm, but as soon as I'm deregulated, it feels like it's like a ripple effect. Everybody else
loses.
But
it's such a lot of pressure. I feel exactly the same, and there must be 100%. So many parents out there feeling the same.
Because it's like fight or flight, but no, it's in the middle of that, isn't it? Because you can't fight it, you can't run off.
You just got to hold it together, and you think, but who's holding it together for me?
And that's why you need what you need to support, don't you? Like, you need friends, you need social media like this. You need that because you think, I need that to fill me up, because like, you've got an iPad going, the telly's going, they're pushing a button on a toy, like, and you think, and that's before you've even done your daily whatever you've got to do to get ready for school, and it's a lot, isn't it?
It is.
And lots of people that have neurodiverse children are neurodiverse themselves as well. So it's managing your own needs as well, isn't it? We've all got different needs, and it's a lot.
But talking of that, we must sort of look at the other side as well, and a lot of your Instagram posts is about, things that he's doing that you didn't expect him to be doing as well. So is there anything that sort of springs to mind? I mean, the bus is an amazing one, but is there anything else that he's doing that you didn't expect?
He's always been like, as much as he hasn't, I said that in the beginning, I didn't realise I didn't think he knew I was his mummy and that, and I remember when he was about 3, because I had to go and pick him up from play school, and he would just run past me, just wasn't bothered about me. But now it takes him a little while. If I walk into the room, I'll get down on my knees, and then he'll be doing something, and then he sees me, and he comes up and takes his dummy out, and he puts his lips on my cheek, and he acknowledges me now, and that he's done that for a couple of years now, and it's like he does it. I'll give him his dinner when he will eat, and he takes his dummy out and gives me a kiss to sort of say thanks, Mum. He's very, very affectionate and loving, and little things like that he does, and he just surprises us. But he's also cheeky and funny, but it's all in his own ways, and it's really hard to say. He's definitely paying more attention, or I've really struggled, and I don't underestimate him, and we're always talking to him and trying to join him in with our play with Emmie, and he sort of doesn't look like he's taking it in, and then he'll go and get the blanket, like if we're swinging her on a blanket and he wants to have a go, or he does things like that now, which I never thought. And the biggest one is his relationship with Emmie, like that over the last 6 months has been like, probably even not as much as 6 months really. It used to be really hard. They couldn't even be in the same room together. Like, I was so worried he would not intentionally hurt her, but he would pull her to say, I don't want her near me, or he'd just cry and scratch his face, and he just didn't want her noises, her in the room. But now she's a bit bigger, she's a bit more she's relentless in her love for him, and I think it's paid off.
They don't give up, do they? It's so funny.
No, and it's and I think that is the biggest progression we have had is their relationship. He lets her in his space. She goes and gets in his bed with him in the mornings, and she helps him. She goes and gets his shoes, and she's just a little helper, and she wants to be. I don't ask her to. I'll never ask her to help. I think there's going to be times where she will take on that little carer role, but she's great with that. So that's the biggest progression. I think their relationship has really developed, and that's lovely to see. Yeah,
I love the video in the car where she answers for him. It's so cute.
Yeah. She pretends to be his voice.
It's really interesting though. It's so interesting because we've spoken about this before, about how the younger sibling just seems to know in moments what the other one needs. Like, I haven't taught my daughter any of this stuff, but when Max is having a really difficult time, she'll go up to him and she'll be, "What happened, Max? What happened?" How at 2 years old are you able to do that? And actually he's being really big and he's being really loud and there's a lot coming out, but she's not daunted by it whatsoever. No. She just gets in there and she just wants to reassure him.
And I think as they get bigger, like the girls, I think I'm more worried about her hurting him now, because she wants to hold his hand, but she's like, "Hold my hand now." And he's a bit like, "Oh," he calls him his face, but he doesn't. And I'm like, "Oh, be careful with him, be gentle." Like, we call him Bubba. She's like, "How's my Bubba?" And she goes, "Did you have nice dreams, Bubba?" Like, so I ask her that, and then she'll go, "Yes."
Oh, love that.
She just makes me laugh. She that relationship is unreal. The way she just gets him. How amazing.
I suppose it's all they've ever known. That's the thing. It's all they know. How old is she?
She's going to be 3 in a couple of weeks. Okay.
Oh.
So I just think for that age, like how much she knows already. And she's good. She knows when to, if we're having a difficult time with Arthur, she knows when to not push things and that already. It's very sweet, and she wants to help, and she feeds him his yogurt and makes sure he has a drink, and
that's so lovely.
I know.
I think there's that maternal instinct in girls anyway, but I think it teaches them to just be, I don't know, have a level of understanding and care that, like at a really, really young age, and empathy. 100%. But we always talk about the boys have made us kinder and more understanding people as well. They do, don't they?
Oh my God, 100%. Like, I genuinely think I'm a better person because of Arthur.
I agree.
I think my understanding for people, my empathy, he has opened my world up big time. I felt like it was really closed in for a long time. But I got that wrong. It's not. I just think I closed myself in for a bit. But once I started opening up a bit, he's made me see things and meet so many other beautiful people as well that just get it. And their children have made them, probably better people. And they definitely taught me so much more. And how lovely would it be to see the world the way they see it? But
I'd love to be a fly on the wall in my son's brain. I really would. I would love to know how he sees the same thing that I see in a totally different way. Like, I would love to.
Oh God, that would be magic, wouldn't it? I'd love to.
It would.
Why a stone is so interesting.
Exactly.
What is it? What do they talk? Or what is it?
Peppa Pig, so interesting to you. On repeat.
Oh, Peppa Pig. What is it about Peppa Pig? I have no idea.
Whatever makes them happy, to be honest. A lot of your Instagram posts also talk about, this new normal, which I think we can all relate to, and finding your new normal. And you talk about, Arthur eating on the sofa in his pushchair, wherever you can get him to eat his dinner. Do you think that a lot of this journey is about finding your own normal and just doing what works for you?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think you've just got to let it go. I think, again, like we spoke about when we were brought up. When I was brought up, you sat at the table, you had your dinner, and that's what you did as a family. It's the same as Christmas time and birthdays. You wrap presents, you all take turns opening them. it's all the social norm, what's meant to be your norm, and that does not work when your child is neurodiverse. Like it just doesn't. And I think if you keep pushing it, it's not going to work. So you just have to find, I'm not saying never try it though, because we still wrap a few presents at Christmas and birthdays, and we still try to, I still get the cake and do the singing, and I think you've got to give it a go. But if it's too much, then what are you doing? Who's that making happy? You're just getting stressed. They're getting stressed. Like, I just thought, I need him to eat. I need him to have food in him. Who gives a shit if it's at the table? Or that's because I was brought up like that, and that's what society tells you to do as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But also that worked for you, and that's fine. And but actually it just doesn't sometimes work.
And it's whatever works for you and your family. I think that's the biggest thing with everything. Like, if it works for you to sit at the table, and that's routine and structure, and that is fantastic. And but if it works and you've got to follow them around the garden and give them their dinner, that's great too. Like,
I say my house is like a McDonald's drive-through most of the time, because my children are just, and both of them, unfortunately, because she sort of learnt that this is normal in our house, that they'll eat a bit, they'll get down, they'll run around. But do some days he is more capable of sitting at the table and eating his food, and some days that is not going to happen at all. And I've had to learn that flexibility of that's okay, that's all right, today's just not the day, he's had a tough day at school or something, I don't even know, but that's not happening today.
I think
that's okay.
We've got to process it and adapt, and you've got to adapt quick as well, like, to things, haven't you? And think on your feet, and you think, that, what might work. Like, we've just had 2 weeks of him getting in a high chair and eating his dinner, and then all of a sudden he don't want to do that. And it's really annoyed me, because I'm like, I've batch cooked all this food and now you're not going to eat it. But like, it is what it is. And I think that's a whole process in itself. But you do have to just let things go a bit. Otherwise, you're going to drive yourself mad. And who gives a shit if someone tells you that you've got to do it this way and that way? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you do it how you need to do it.
To get through the day. I kind of look at it as like lowering your expectations, because they might not always be met. And then also, if you put that pressure on them, I have it with Alex anyway, if I put that pressure on, he'll do the opposite thing
completely. Max will double down.
100%.
He will double
You've just got to, like you said, go with the flow, and suddenly all the food's gone, because he's bouncing around eating it, watching Hey Dougie, and I'm like, great, that was worth cooking. But if I made him sit down and eat it, he'd push it to the side, and that would be the end of it. So you've got to just go with what works, haven't you?
Yeah, you have. And I think people go, but you're letting him get away with it, and you're being a pushover, and you can have all of them comments, but I just think, you live my life then.
You're welcome to try. If you think that you can do better, please be my guest. Come and try.
So you've just got to do what's right for you, and that takes a while to get used to, doesn't it? And still now you still get frustrated with things and think, just doing what I wanted to do, but they won't. So they're their own people, aren't they? And if someone told me to do something I didn't want to do, like,
part of me really respects the fact that Max will not be budged. If he doesn't want to do it, he will not do it. And I think fair play, because I'm a bit of a people pleaser, and I'll do what other people want me to do. Even internally, I'm thinking, I really don't want to do that. But I think I could learn something from you here, Max.
That's a good way of thinking as well.
That's easy to do when he's in bed and he's asleep. But in the moment, I think, for God's sake, just move.
I sometimes look and I'm like, you're bouncing on the trampoline, eating a slice of pizza. Life is great. Like, you are living your best life right now.
Living your life. I do think that. I think I'm literally following you around, feeding you. You're living your best life, mate. Like, I mean, I don't blame him, really. So, I think you've just got to do what's right, haven't you? And
absolutely. We've got to talk about potty training, because it's something that Alex still hasn't mastered. I haven't spoken to anyone that can kind of give me any advice or tips. I'll go back and watch your videos, because I know you've sort of followed that journey. But have you got any sort of top tips for that work for you?
No, Arthur's still in nappies. So we are under a disability nurse, and so when they're 5, where I live, but it should be in the NHS, you get assessed for nappies. and they go through toilet training with you. They tell you to look at the site Eric, if you've probably looked at Eric. And Arthur, it just isn't, he's just not into the toilet. He just doesn't pay any attention to it. He's never watched anyone go to the toilet. I put him on it and he's scared of it. He wants off. But he doesn't, to him, that's not what happens. He's got no awareness when he goes. He can't tell us when he goes. The only way I know a lot of the time is Arthur will touch what's in his nappy, which is great fun. Or his vocal stimming gets louder, and it's like he's going, "Oh, I'm doing a poo," but he's like, me and Josh,
it's his way.
The poo signal, like that's his. Every day at school, I have to ask at the end of the day, has he done a poo? Like we're not there. And the disability nurse said the average is like 8 years old, usually, with a child similar to Arthur.
Okay.
I don't feel any pressure from the school. The school will help when he's ready. He's showing no signs at the moment. Whereas Emmie is potty trained, and it just happened.
Yeah.
And that just blows my mind. Like, we're not putting nappies on her, and I'm a bit like, and she's now processing Arthur's in a nappy. She's not, and that's quite hard for a child to sort of process that. But that'll just. So I've got no tips whatsoever when it comes to potty training, because it's just not happening at the moment, and the pressure's not there either. I do put him on Emmie's little toilet seat, but I think he's a bit like, okay,
off I go.
What do you want me to do here? And he does move away when we change him. Like, I take his nappy off, and he will move himself away from the nappy.
Yeah.
So that's a sign. It's something that's going to be a whole different ball game when it comes to. But he's not even 6 yet, so I think I'll go with what the school says and what we're thinking of things. And it's hard though. Like, it's a lot.
It's really hard.
And I think people, when it comes to social media, lots of people don't talk about potty training as such, because it is such a
diverse subject, isn't it? It's people have, it's one of those things that people have opinions on in parenting as well.
It's quite private as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like, I do talk about, like, is that shit or chocolate, or like, I don't go into loads of detail about it, and nor do a lot of people. And it's the same with sharing meltdowns and things like that. They're very private moments. I get why some people do it. I wouldn't personally, but I talk about it. And the potty training is but you need to talk about, you need to know.
You do.
I know.
I need to soak this in. I need to know. There is a few accounts that do talk about it, and there's picture cards and that, but Arthur's we're not even at the picture card stage. So so sorry, I can't help you with that one.
Thanks.
No, but actually,
Thanks, Leona.
But I think you make a really important point, actually, all jokes aside, because you highlighted there to take the pressure off yourself.
Absolutely.
Not feeling the pressure. And actually, again, it goes back to the same thing, doesn't it? Society says the social norm is your child is potty trainer, blah, 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 blah. But actually, if they're not ready, they're not ready.
No, he's not.
There's no point doing it.
There's no point. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Just because,
they're showing signs, but he's not. And I don't feel pressured. But I mean, the nurse, they have to pressure you a bit as a nurse. They have criteria to meet, and but he was pretty chilled, and he could see that Arthur's there's no sort of awareness there at the moment, and I'm all right with that. I mean, it's hard work. It's hard finding changing facilities now for his size, and that's hard. That's a whole different ball game. But
we don't we? We find a way.
Yeah, we do. You just get on with it, and
Well, that was helpful even about the disability nurse, because I didn't know about that. So that's great. I haven't even known that was an option. So that was really helpful.
Do that. Go through the continence team or school, depending on your schools and that, because our schools have got them. But if they haven't, you can go through your community continence nurse and get an assessment through them.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Finally, Leona, what advice do you have for parents at the start of their journey?
Oh, this is it's really hard. So much. If I could go back and give myself a big hug, like, to say it's all right, like, it's a lot. It's allowed to feel a lot. Like, you're allowed to feel I've spoke about this before, like, feel all them emotions, and get lost in them for a bit, but don't sit in them for too long, because you can't. You can't. You need to find your outlet, and you need to find your people. I think I wish I'd maybe found more people sooner, but that's okay. I have now, and social media is huge on support. But reach out to people. Reach out to people. Don't be worried to say, introduce yourself and message people. And it's such a hard one, isn't it? Because there's so many little snippets of stuff you'd give, of what you could tell yourself back then. That's, I just think, and let it go, let some of that pressure go as well. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. You're not going to solve everything overnight. It's just a process, isn't it?
I think all of us can relate to wanting to go back to that person that just found out that diagnosis and give them the biggest hug and just say everything's going to be all right. Like, you'll find your people, you'll find help, and you'll get through it. Right now this is shit, but we'll get through it.
And it's you're allowed to feel shit. You are. Don't ever brush that off. And nothing you did.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
You did nothing wrong. Nothing you did caused your child to have a disability. Nothing. And I think you do blame yourself with little things. You do think, should I have done this? Should I have done that? Nothing you did is wrong.
You make a really important point there, because I think within the last couple of weeks you put a video up and it really resonated with me, because you said social media feels heavy right now, and this was after a certain announcement around what they believe has caused autism. And actually I was like, it does feel heavy, and this is really important to talk about, because people are genuinely sat out there thinking, what did I do to cause this? And now they're blaming themselves again, and it's just not okay.
No, and you feel like that anyway, I think, as mum. I did anyway. I remember thinking about my pregnancy and about the birth, about you think of all this stuff.
You analyse all of it, and you think, at what point did this happen? And the reality is, you'll never know. And maybe no reason. Maybe it was just always meant to be that way.
Yeah.
But then you followed that video up with my favourite ever of you hoovering. Hoovering your house. Just doing your normal stuff. And I thought, this is the content I'm here for.
Just getting on with life.
With a beautiful gesture at the end. And that was the one for me.
Because life goes on, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It
is a shit show.
You dust yourself off and you carry on.
You get on with it.
You have to.
Oh,
Leona, thank you so much for joining us today. So Leona's account is at Leona Jade Smith. It's full of so much helpful information and just such a honest account about your lovely son, Arthur. So thank you so much for sharing his journey with us today.
No, thanks for having me on, girls.
Thank you.
Thank you.